Good. Oh man. Hold on. Good morning. This is Secret of the Scuff coming at you live with Apollo. No, Ace. What was it? Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. There we go. Oh boy, it's been a while, huh? Well, what I said I was gonna be like a 2-week break. It's been like 3 weeks. And my voice is not doing great. But that doesn't mean we're not gonna like not do this. After all, getting back into things is what we're here for today. We're not gonna spend too much time just talking about me. Not now. We'll just get back into it, because I need to remember all these voices that I used to do. Yes. Turnabout Storyteller. Here we go. Some good things. I put a schedule up. I'm gonna be trying to, keep to that. The Monday stream's not gonna be there, of course, because that's just a special thing since we're back from break.
3, 4, 5.
Okay, he's an
6,
actor.
7, 8. What time is it? It's 9, 10.
And we had a Danganronpa style mystery man come up behind him. Shisho's dead? No, do you think he did it? Oh no, hey, pull yourself together. Don't worry, I have an idea. Ooh man, that dialogue went fast. I accidentally skipped some of it. That's unfortunate. Ugh. Oh, we're starting in the courtroom. Okay. Okay, here we go. What the heck? Who brings the defendant to his own trial late? Plus, the request was so last minute I didn't even have a chance to talk with my client. He's late. We're a very important date. I know. Don't go further, though. We don't want to get sued. My name is Athena Sykes. Armed with analytical psychology and a full arsenal of legal know-how, I am a fully competent defender of the Right Anything Agency. Though I wish my client would show up already. The trial's about to start. It appears we made it just in time. Where have you been? The trial's about to start, Simon. Oh, it's him. Okay. You needn't get so worked up, Athena. His baldness can wait. There's no way he'd wait for me. And besides, why would I want to start off on the wrong foot with him right out of the gate? Dealing with such matters is part of being a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, well, covering for your lateness is not. Still, but a rank amateur, I see. Alright, I forgot he calls her that. This is Simon Blackwell. He might not look it, but he's actually a prosecutor and a psychology specialist. He and I go way back. As for our shared specialization in psychology, we're both disciples of the same person, so to speak, but he's kind of my senior, I guess. But twisted sense of humor or no, I wish he'd stop treating me like a child all the time. So, where are Right Dono and Justice Dono? Mr. Wright is abroad, and Apollo's helping Trucy with her magic show. Didn't I tell you? They're what? So, neither one of them are here? Leaving you to take this on alone? Yep. Ye gods. Call Right Dono back. It's not too late. Oh, no, not late at all. He would... Oh, no, not too late at all. What? What's this line? Yeah, we're just gonna skip that one. I don't even know how she's trying to say that. He would only need to know how to teleport. Oh, she's being sarcastic. Right. Oh no, not late at all. He'd only need to know how to teleport. Very well. Then I will settle for Justice Dono. Go grab him by the horns and drag him here. Apollo was literally in the middle of a show, Simon. You may not want to admit it, but I've got what it takes to take on this case. Just leave this to me and go watch from the gallery. As your defense derails in spectacular fashion. No, as I win the heck out of this trial. Your lad, Simon Blackwell? I mean, I must. I should just say it. I'm not a huge fan of him. I like voicing him. But he lacks the back and forth, I find, that is needed for a prosecutor in these games. I'll be okay, I promise. So wipe that look off your face already, will you? Anyway, I take the guy behind you is... Yes, he's your... He's asleep again. Oi, Bucky, wake up. Yeah! Ah, ow. Why'd you do that for, Simey? Oh, is he drunk? Yep, he is. The no-nonsense is nice. It reminds me of... what's it called? Edgeworth's first trial, where he still had control over his witness. Obviously that derailed very fast, but that's part of his charm. Who's this yeller chickadee? She is your lawyer, such as it were. I'd say she's more green than yellow, however. Lawyer? She sure doesn't look it, does she? Is she like, your fellow apprentice or something? Something like that. Yeah, Miles pre-Nick. Though I suppose the only pre-Nick Miles we got was, what was it? During Mia's case? Yeah. But I imagine he was very much like, what's his name? Manfred von Karma? Considering they even dress the same. That was something that they very, like, not explicit, but implicitly showed. I've known her longer than I have known you. You could say we're bound to one another. Oh, okay. Well, guess I better call her Miss Chickadee then. Oh, I haven't played Investigations yet. I was wondering whether or not I should do it here on stream. But considering we've done Ace Attorney for like 3 months now, I think I might take a break before doing the next one. Simon, this guy's not only rude, but he's 3 sheets to the wind at his own trial. I know we just met, but I'm about ready to give him a piece of my mind. Do as you will. Just save it for after the trial. Miss Chickadee? Don't call me that! How'd you do? Simey here's an old friend of mine. I'm, the 4th generation head chef of Wet Soba. Wet Noodle number 4, Bucky Wet. Nice to meet ya. It's nice to meet you too, Mr. Wet. So he can pull himself together when he wants to. If only this trial wasn't starting in a few minutes. Having been accused of a murder that only occurred yesterday, I'm afraid it's taken a toll on the poor boy. And you happened to be there at the theater where it all happened too, right? They said they found a Rakugo storyteller murdered in his dressing room. Indeed. The victim, Master Storyteller Taifu Tornado, was a longtime patron of Wet Soba. Master Tornado had been looking after Bucky ever since Wet Noodle number 3 passed away. I see. So the victim was kind of like a father to the defendant, huh? Should check the court record. Okay, nothing. That stupid old fart. Like a father? No way. He was always dissing my Soba. How dare you speak ill of him? Running your mouth like that is why they suspected you of his murder in the first place. Now, pull yourself together. Number 3 must be rolling in his grave. But Simey... The police, none of them believe me. They won't listen to me. It looks like he's still in shock from the whole ordeal. Don't worry, Mr. Wet. Everything's gonna be alright. I'm gonna defend you with everything I've got. You're in good hands now. You mean, you believe me, ma'am? Of course. No matter what, I'll believe in you and to the very end. Gee whiz, Miss Chickadee. Now, come on. I need you to shape up. Just like all those al dente noodles of yours. Yes, ma'am. My soba is the freshest. Oh, and he's down for the count, probably? Well, no. He's gonna get back up, obviously. Mr. Wet? Ah, Bucky. You great big pillock. So, how exactly do you know this guy? I used to frequent Wet Soba, and still do, in fact, so I've known him since he was a lad. That's why his father and Master Tornado were always so good to me. I didn't know you liked soba so much, Simon. I wouldn't expect one such as you, who eats meat slapped between slabs of bread, to understand the delicate taste and the subtle textures imparted by buckwheat flour. Isn't she a regular at El Dunes? Oh well. Hey, that's just rude, but I digress. I'm all about flavor and subtlety and stuff. If I let Wet Soba end like this, I'll never be able to face number 3 or Master Tornado in the next life. Ah, I see. And that's why you came to me. You wanted somebody you could trust. It was never my intention to ask you. I'll show him I can handle it just fine. Well, I believe it's just about time. What? We haven't even properly discussed the case yet. What's the matter? You look nervous, Athena. Don't tell me you're chickadeeing out. No, I'm just trembling with excitement of battle, that's all. Off gets, let's do this. Come on, Mr. Wet. Get up off the floor, and we have got a case to win. Oh man, I'm stuttering a lot, eh? Yes, Miss Chickadee. I'm gonna do my best.
Wet soba. Wet soba. Wet soba.
Oh,
Wet
new
soba.
ringtone.
Wet soba.
Yellow? 2 bowls of noodles? Sorry, sir, no can do. Kinda busy at the courthouse. Huh? They hung up. Okay, let's do this. Wonder if that's his phone. He's not doing himself or this case any favors like this, Simon. Maybe we should let him go get some rest somewhere. Let me rest? Maybe if I were a lump of regular old flour dough for udon noodles, but I'm fresh like my soba. Don't you let soba dough rest. This is all about the 3 freshes. Grind the buckwheat seeds, cut the dough fresh, and boil the... Down he goes, once more. He's blacked out. Oh boy, I just knew something like this would happen. Simon, what are these 3 freshes of soba he was talking about? First, buckwheat seeds, or groats, are ground to make buckwheat flour. Then, dough made with this flour is cut with a large rectangular knife into noodles. And finally, the buckwheat noodles are boiled. Each step is done immediately, one after the other, so that the soba is fresh when eaten. Oh, so that's what he meant. But why did we have to go through and explain all of that? You know, does the audience really need that? I wouldn't want him to make me any soba right now, though, that's for sure. Athena, this is no time for idle chatter. You need to get into the courtroom, now. Just remember, as a prosecutor, I will be unable to lend you a hand. So don't expect any help from my quarter. There you go, treating me like I'm incompetent again. For your information, I wasn't planning on asking you for help anyway. Just you wait, Simon, I'll show you. Oh, it's so weird calling him by his first name. Mr. Wright and Apollo may not be here, but that's all right. I can do this on my own. Now, for hopping right into it here on this first day, like, without any build-up, I think this could just be a short 2-day trial, which would be kind of weird considering, what is this, Chapter 4? Chapter 3? Yeah, I think this is Chapter 4. You'd expect this to be a 3-day trial, but if it were, you would think they'd give it a lot more build-up. Court is now in session for the trial of Bucky Wet. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh, why is he there? What voice did I give him? Hold on, give me a second. How'd he get here, and what voice did I give him? The prosecution is fully prepared, Your Honor. That's not the voice I gave him. What's this? No prayer this time, Prosecutor Sadmati? That is correct, Your Honor. To expedite the proceedings, I completed them beforehand in the lobby. I think we'll just have to go with that for now. Well, I might change it a bit as we go on. How very thoughtful of you. By the way, what brings you back to this country? Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth himself called on me to handle this case. Besides, I have a debt to repay, and though my opponent is yet a callow thing, I have no qualms with sending her down to hell.
Objection!
If you have a score to settle, it's with Apollo, not me. But more importantly, I am not a callow thing. I am a qualified and capable attorney. Then, what is that yellow attire, if not proof of your immaturity, you small spring chick? Now, cease her shrill chirping. Now, Prosecutor Sanmari. She is still only a teenager. Please go easy on her. Ah, great! Now even the judge is giving me a kid treatment. Very well. Shall we begin, Your Honor? I need to do something about that voice of his. Here, give me a second. Okay, I've cleared my throat. We're gonna try him again next time we get a line. Yes, I suppose we should. Now then, Prosecutor Sanmari, please give your opening statement. I'll show them what I can do. They'll be sorry they underestimated me. Certainly. Let the last rites of this victim no, that's not it. Hold on. Certainly. Let the last rites of the victim commence. That's better. The incident is believed to have occurred at around 4 p.m. yesterday, May 12th, at a storyteller's theater called Kura'in. The victim was a great master of the Tornado School of Rakugo, or comedic storytelling. His name was Taifu Tornado. The scene of the murder was the theater's dressing room. It is accessible via the staff entrance hallway and has an inner and outer sliding door. Okay, hold on. Theater's dressing room. Okay. Ooh, okay, let's take a look at this. He was at... Oh, I think it's the second step, I think he said, of making the noodles. There's a bit of aluminum, I think, there. Oh, that's wrapping paper from the other side of the room. Refrigerator is turned on. The TV is unplugged. He was probably drunk. He was... Is he playing that game with the cards and the poems? I think so. And I think that's the only things we need to note right now. I guess he had only eaten one of the treats. How was he killed? Tell me. The cause of death is suffocation, though how the victim suffocated is yet to be determined. The autopsy found nothing unusual in his lungs or stomach, and there is no murder weapon. I will now submit the incident report to the court. Interesting. Okay. So... Hold on. I want to take a look at that picture. Prosecutor Sanmari, how can you name Mr. Wet as the culprit? Well, let's take a look here. So, there's flour everywhere, which is something I forgot to note. So he was obviously in the middle of not eating noodles, but making them. I think step one, since he hadn't... Well, no, he could be completely finished if the noodles in the bowl are complete. No, I don't think I can get anything extra out of this right now, can I? Yeah, he was making noodles. The room is covered in flour, and there are 2 drink cans in the fridge. Alright. When you don't even know how the victim was killed, or even with what? While it is true that the weapon and precise method are, as yet unknown, the accused is the only one who had the opportunity to commit the murder. I'll explain this assertion in further detail as we continue. I guess this means he has some kind of evidence to present. Now, would the accused care to plead his case? Come to think of it, where is the defendant, Miss Sykes? Sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid Mr. Wet isn't feeling very well and is resting in the infirmary. Surely it is a lack of clear conscience that impedes him from facing this court. Great, starting off on the wrong foot already. Mr. Wet is the head chef of a soba shop frequented by the victim. On the day of the incident, Mr. Wet went to the theater at the victim's request. Typhoon Tornado was a connoisseur of soba. As you can see in these photographs, he was apparently making soba himself in his dressing room that very day. The soba found at the scene is likely the soba he himself made there. Liking soba is one thing, but making it in a theater dressing room is a bit much, non? Master Tornado truly had a passion for soba, didn't he? For a man like that to be murdered by a soba chef is simply unthinkable. And yet, the accused had ample motive. For in the victim's safe, we discovered the deed to the accused's shop. Mr. Wet was to inherit Wet soba when he lost his father recently. But wait, what? Please don't tell me this is a thing like physically stealing the deed. However, it's believed that the victim stole the shop's deed during the transfer process. The prosecution believes the accused killed the victim in order to get the deed back. That is horrible. I hate that motive. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. A murder over the deed to a shop. That does sound like a plausible motive. Let me read it. This is a certified Mr. Buckley Wets. Given under my hand and given back under my hand and the district land registry notary seal. Yeah, why are they trying to steal a deed? It should say who it's being, like who owns it on the paper. So if his name is not on the paper, all he has to do is go to the police. Why? I don't like this. I hope this gets better. So that's what this case is about? I wish Simon had filled me in a little better. I could have contributed more than just 1,000 buckets of cold sweat if he had. Defense. From your demeanor, I gather you know very little about the details of this case. Well, you see, you are dishonoring the soul of the victim by appearing in a courtroom unprepared. You are an embarrassment to your profession. You putrid egg yolk. Yep, still not streaming, by the way. I'm sorry. Apollo's a red pepper and now I'm an egg yolk? You've only just started and I've already been demoted from Spring Chick. I am ready to call my witness, Your Honor. Let us listen to the words of one who was present when the crime was discovered. Someone who was there when the victim's body was found? Very well. Witness, please take the stand. Let's see, who do we got? Oh, right, I forgot. Duh, it's Blackwell. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Simon Blackquill, prosecutor. But Prosecutor Blackquill? You didn't tell me you were going to take the stand. There simply wasn't time. What a shame, Prosecutor Blackquill. Had you shared the damning scene you witnessed beforehand with the defense, we could have moved this trial along and saved the victim's soul that much faster. The damning scene? What in the world did Simon see? Prosecutor Sanmati, was it? Before I give my testimony, there's something I'd like to confirm. By all means. This case involves rakugo, a very traditional form of Japanese comedic storytelling. Do you have enough knowledge of this art form to handle this case competently? Are you implying that I am not qualified for this case? Not yet. I am simply trying to ascertain your familiarity with the topic, for now. It is a prosecutor's duty to learn the background of any case he takes on. I did some research on rakugo last night, and have grasped the overall idea of it. How much could you possibly grasp in a single night? Why, is he gonna start reciting the Wikipedia article? Rakugo is a form of entertaining storytelling that originated in the land of Japan. In it, the storyteller sits alone on the stage with only a fan and a towel as... Okay, he is. And the Rakugo artist tells long, whimsical stories, giving each character a distinct voice. This traditional art was originally invented by the monks to make sermons more interesting. Are you satisfied? If not, I could explain the 12 types of endings to such stories. Or shall I perform the famous story of Jugemu instead? Ah, it appears you have put in a bit of study. Your acknowledgement is most welcome, Prosecutor Black Quill. I can see why you... Oh, man. Voice crack. I can see why you are known for being quite thorough in your research, Prosecutor. Now, I would love to see you perform that story you mentioned, if you don't mind. If that is your honor's request. Jugemu, Jugemu. Your Honor, could we please get back to the trial? Oh, right. Of course, I nearly forgot. Seriously? All these things for you to forget. Now then, back to the case. Prosecutor Blackwell, please tell this court what you witnessed. Alright, here we go. Time to actually get thinking. What did you see? I went to the theater yesterday and arrived at approximately 4 p.m. I went straight to Master Tornado's dressing room to say hello. Bucky went to the dressing room thereafter, only to come storming out after a while. Master Tornado's junior disciple, Uendo, apparently then entered the room soon after. That's when Uendo discovered Master Tornado's body. Now wait just a minute here, Prosecutor Blackquill. With testimony like that, you're practically accusing Mr. Wet of the crime. All I can do is state what I saw. I can't help how it appears. But a qualified and capable attorney such as you should be able to dispatch with it, right? Well, yeah, duh. Alright, I guess I better start by getting all the info out of him I can. That sounds to me like we gotta press every statement. Here we go. Prosecutor Blackquill, what did you go to the theater for in the first place? I went because I had received an invitation from Master Tornado. Here, see for yourself. It was a special show commemorating his junior disciple Uendo's promotion. It was also an occasion to announce the boy's succession to the stage name of Uendo II. So what exactly does it mean to succeed to a new stage name? You really don't know, do you? In the performing arts, a name succession is when an artist inherits a predecessor's name. I see. So there was another Uendo Rakugo artist before, and this disciple succeeded him, huh? And what exactly did your invitation say? It contained a simple letter of salutations and an outline of the show's program. Oh, it appears Typhoon Tornado was going to perform Toki Soba, or Time Soba. He's famous for his masterful pantomime of eating soba using only his fan as a prop. And Uendo was to perform Soba Se, or Soba Glutton, a soba-themed show, I see. It seems you know a thing or two about Rakugo yourself, your boldness. The first to perform was the senior disciple, Geiru, followed by Uendo, and lastly, Master Tornado. Oh man. The fact that I haven't done this in so long is really taking a toll on me, eh? My voice is starting to give out quick. How'd I used to do this for like 5 hours at a time? Of course, I'm planning to do 5 hours now, but the fact that I'm already giving out is worrying. I need to get a drink. Alright, here we go. I see. So that's why you happened to be at the Storytellers Theater yesterday. So, what happened after you arrived? Yes, please tell. And how did Master Tornado appear when you said hello to him? I went with the intention of greeting him, but ultimately, we didn't actually meet. You didn't see him? Why not? Geiru escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of a rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done. You heard rakugo being performed in the dressing room? Yes, not just me, but Geiru as well. In other words, you can confirm that the victim was still alive around 4 p.m.? Correct. I couldn't hear him clearly through the doors, but I'm sure it was Master Tornado. Well, that's a huge flaw, because as we saw here, he does have a TV with a VCR built into it, so they definitely could have just been listening to something instead. Yeah. Okay. So, if he was dead before that, who do we suspect? Probably the guy on stage? I could tell because it was the time solo routine being performed in there. So that means the victim was killed sometime after that.
Hold it!
Please tell us in detail how Mr. Wet appeared at the time. Geiru and I were waiting in the hallway for Master Tornado to finish practicing, when Bucky appeared and entered the dressing room with his things. What happened after that? We heard what sounded like Bucky shouting inside the room. About 10 minutes later, Bucky came back out of the dressing room looking rather irate. This is most likely when the murder was committed. The victim was an elderly man. It would have been entirely possible to kill him within the span of 10 minutes. I'd better come up with some kind of counter-argument and fast.
Hold it!
What do you mean by apparently? Didn't you see him go in? No, I couldn't. I wasn't able to see the dressing room door from where I was standing at the time. But Geiru was right in front of it, so I'm sure she saw it all. I see. And why do you suppose Uendo went to the dressing room anyway? He had just finished his routine, so he was making a courtesy call. A disciple is to pay their master respect right before and after each performance. And all disciples are expected to do this? Yes, it's common courtesy among Rakugo artists. I see. Could you tell us what happened after Uendo went to the dressing room? Oh man, Blackwheel's voice is shredding me. God, I need more water. Let me see. Here, give me a second. Okay. I mean, if I can't keep this up, I might have to just change Blackwell's voice. Which would be very unfortunate. Certainly.
Hold it!
Okay, here's the last one. And how did Uendo act at the time? After Uendo had been in the dressing room for 2 or 3 minutes, we heard a scream from inside the room, and Uendo came flying out. Did you hear any signs of struggle at that time? No, just Uendo's woeful scream. I see. Well done, Prosecutor Blackquill. Your testimony has given us a glimpse into the sequence of events. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackquill. And now, please allow me to summarize your testimony. Oh, you don't have to do that. While Prosecutor Blackquill and Geiru were in the hallway waiting for Master Tornado, the accused came along and entered the dressing room with some items in tow. He was heard shouting for a time from inside the dressing room, and about 10 minutes later he came back out of the room, seeming rather angry. A short time after the accused had come and gone, Uendo Tornado went into the room. A few minutes later, after having discovered the victim's body, Uendo gave a scream and came running out into the hallway from within. Prosecutor Blackquill and Gayru then ran into the room and saw the body for themselves. Okay, okay. From the circumstances, it is quite clear that the accused murdered the victim. This is crucial testimony indeed. What were they doing in all that time? There's no way they were actually just standing there for like 20 minutes straight, right? Defense. An eyewitness has given conclusive testimony. Why not let it all go now, and allow the victim his last rites? Not on your life. If Wendo went into that dressing room too and was the first to discover the body, then who's to say he didn't commit the crime? Wendo was in the dressing room for a mere 2, perhaps 3 minutes. He could not have possibly committed murder in that time, nor without making any noise. Not necessarily, because it's suffocation using means that you have yet to discover, so it absolutely could have been done during that time. Simon, why did you have to give that awful testimony? The Prosecutor Blackquill? Can't you give something a little better to work? Give me something a little better to work with here? Isn't it up to you to ask the right questions? I am certainly willing to tell you all that I know. So if you truly are as capable as you claim, then draw out what you need yourself. This is no time for your twisted games, Prosecutor Blackquill. Just admit you don't remember it all that well. Oh, that was pretty quick. Prosecutor Blackquill. Watching you collude with the defense like this, I see that you are no prosecutor. Begone, witness. You shall haunt this sacred hall no more. How dare you treat me like some evil spirit to be exorcised? I'll remember this, you blackguard. Oh, and he's gone. Don't worry, Prosecutor Blackquill. I've got this. Would I have my way, he would not be the only one here to step down. You half-boiled putrid egg yolk. Ew. I object to the notion that I'm a gooey, smelly mess. Prosecutor Blackquill's testimony was like the lowly opening act of a Rakugo show. He may hold the title of prosecutor, but this time he stood on the side of the defense. To restore balance to this trial, I would like to present an actual witness for the prosecution. And who is this witness? The person who was with Prosecutor Blackquill when the body was discovered. She is another entertainer of the Tornado School, Miss Gayru Tornado. Alright, here we go. Oh, I can already tell I'm gonna have a pain with this voice. Oh! Ayo, I know this person. It's the clown lady that was all over the internet a while back. Give me a second. Please state your name and occupation, witness. Hello, everyone. I'm here to represent the Tornado School with a twisty twist. Oh, I hate the sound of balloons. That's gonna get on my nerves. And balloon! There you have it, a stunning balloon hat. It's me, the balloon artist you all know and love, Gayru Tornado. Just call me Gayru, sweetie. 1, 2, balloon! What a way to capture your audience's attention. I dare say I can't take my eyes off those balloons. Please tell me you're talking about the hat, Your Honor. Oh, Mr. Judgy, I'm so glad you liked my performance. Would you consider joining my fan club? Pretty please? Oh, absolutely. And please save your fanboying for after the trial, Your Honor. Anyway, Gayru, I can't help but notice you seem awfully cheerful for just having lost your master. Of course I'm sad, but Shisha would scold me if I didn't put on a big smile. Never show sadness. Smile, 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 with a twisty twist. And balloon. There you have it. One gorgeous cake. I see. I guess an entertainer's gotta do what an entertainer's gotta do. Her balloon art's worse than a Rorschach test. All I saw was a severed monster's head. What are you talking about? That looked fantastic. I mean, I know I sort of butchered that line there, but still. Geiru, you're obviously a balloon artist. So how did you come to be a member of the Rakugo school? Well, my father, my late father, that is, was a Rakugo artist, you see. So I joined the Tornado School to be just like my daddy someday. I see. My father and I owe so much to Shisho, our master, but that Bucky Wet... Oh, how could he? I want to see him pay for what he's done as quickly as possible.
Your distress is entirely understandable, and my condolences for your loss.
And not only that, but he... you have more to say about Mr. Wet? Every time he comes to deliver soba to us, he yells at me. He always tells me to get away. Is there any reason he would have to say such a thing about you? He says the smell of my perfume will get into his soba and ruin it. Like, how can he say that? This is a great scent.
How very rude of him. I don't blame you for being upset.
Excuse me, Your Honor, but please don't let Geiru's balloons bias your judgment. Mr. Wet hasn't been proven guilty yet, remember? It will be interesting to see how long that fire of yours will last the defense. Now then, Geiru, please share the truth with this court.
Yes, Geiru, your testimony, please.
Ooh, I wonder how long it's going to take for those balloons to pop. From 4 p.m. to a little after 4:20 p.m., when Shisho's body was found, Simon and I were standing in the hallway in front of the dressing room. Before a window discovered the body, the only person who had gone in there was Bucky. Come to think of it, a little while before Bucky showed up, Jugemu was barking like mad. Prosecutor Blackquill, do you have any objections to this witness's testimony? No. Make up your bloody mind, sad monk Snudmati. First you exorcise me, now this. You need only do as you are instructed by this humble servant of the Holy Mother. As there are no objections, Your Honor, let us move on to the salvation of the victim's soul.
Hold it!
Hey, I'm the defense attorney here, Prosecutor Sunmati, and I just might have an objection or two once I'm actually cross-examining the witness. So what are you asking Prosecutor Blackquill for? I'm the one you should be checking with. There is a passage in the sacred scriptures of Kurainism. To stir the wind is beyond the power of a spring chick. In other words, the inexperienced are useless. With that in mind, it seemed more judicious to consult Prosecutor Blackquill. Haha, he doesn't even see you as an adversary, Sykes Dono. Well, I won't let either one of you insult me. I'll show you I'm no inexperienced spring chick. Your Honor, I'm ready to cross-examine the witness.
I hope you can make Prosecutor Sanmati see you as a worthy adversary, Miss Sykes. I'll allow your cross-examination, so you'd better strike while the iron is hot.
What a weird way to phrase it. You don't allow it, it's just something that happens, yeah? Okay, let's see. Where do we want to start with this? Tell me about Jugemu. How about that?
Hold it!
Jugemu? That's my doggy. I keep him about the theater. Let's see. With a twisty twist. Balloon! There you have it. My cute little Jugemu. He's, kinda creepy looking. Oh, but he's a really, really good boy. And why was Jugemu barking? Do you think it's because he saw someone suspicious? If so, then we'd have a new suspect in this case. Now why was he barking again? Oh, I remember. Because it was time for me to feed him. So I went to the yard and gave him some food. Couldn't somebody have slipped into the dressing room while you were doing that? Nope. The door out into the yard was wide open. I would have seen if anybody went into the dressing room. Prosecutor Blackquill, come down to the stand for a second, please.
How many times must I do this?
You saw what Gator was talking about, right? So why didn't you mention it before?
I can't be expected to remember every minute detail.
Well, remember them now, please. Did Gamu go out into the yard? Yes. I remember now she went to feed... I remember now that she went to feed Jugemu. And I saw her looking toward the dressing room quite frequently as well. Do you recall anything else? It looked as though she were feeding the dog a great quantity of dumplings or something. Jugemu couldn't finish them all, so he buried the rest in the corner of a yard. That's about all I can remember. She was looking towards the room frequently. Is that... Tell me that's in the note, right? Let me see. Let's see. It's not in the note, but if she's looking towards the yard like that, which I didn't note from even the image, then she probably knew something was up. It looks like Gary was telling the truth. Your Honor, I like Gary's last statement added to her testimony.
As you wish, defendant.
Okay, let's see here. You were in the yard, but the door was wide open, so you could keep watch on the dressing room. Which door? Because if that door was the one that was open... Yeah, no, there's no way. Because if you kept the door open while you were at the bowl, then you wouldn't be able to see. Duh.
Objection!
So, you were able to keep an eye on the dressing room while you were out in the yard? Is that correct? That's right. The door out into the yard was wide open. Sorry, but that makes zero sense. Take a look at this diagram of the backstage area. There's a clear contradiction between this diagram and the witness's testimony.
Oh? I'm afraid I don't understand, Miss Sykes.
Oh, geez, my voice. Give me 1 second.
I'm afraid I don't understand, Miss Sykes. Please, point out what contradicts the witness's testimony.
I think I just point to this general area, yeah? Gary was in the yard near the doghouse. Prosecutor Blackwell even saw her there. And while she was out there, the door to the yard had been left open.
Ah, I see.
Yes, if the door to the yard was wide open, as Gary said, it would have blocked her view, making it impossible for her to see the dressing room. What? No way. But even if there were admittedly a few moments Gary was not keeping watch, how much would that really affect this case? It would greatly affect this case. From the spot Prosecutor Blackwell stood, he couldn't see the dressing room door either. Anyone could have entered the dressing room during that time without being seen. Yeah. Oh, that's one balloon popped. Gabriel, why did you try to hide the fact that you weren't watching the dressing room? What?
Objection!
Hide the fact? You speak as though you think she had something to do with the murder. Rather than deliberate deception, it was more likely a simple oversight. Right, witness? Well, I was so shocked by what happened, I was just confused, that's all. Even though she is trying to keep up a brave front as an entertainer, the truth is that she had been torn apart by grief. For her mind to be in turmoil is hardly unexpected. What a strange way to phrase it. I was just in shock because of what happened is all. That sounds to me like she was not talking about her current state, but how she was at the time. Let's review that, shall we? Let's see. You speak as though you think she had something to do with the murder. It was most likely a simple oversight, right? And then after stuttering, she says it was that she was just shocked by what happened. That definitely could be referring to her, like, looking and losing sight of a room.
Yes, it must be very difficult indeed.
To a disciple, one's master is akin to a real parent. Surely her shock is immense. The way this lawyer tries to pin the blame on this poor soul at the first opportunity. All I can say is defense attorneys are heartless creatures indeed. But that wasn't what I was trying to do. It is beyond your comprehension. Is it beyond your comprehension, defense? Your unskilled argument is scaring this witness even further. Or scarring? Yeah, I think that was scarring. And if we ask the people in this courtroom, I'm sure they would agree. What? The gallery doesn't get a say in this? Are you afraid to find out that they think ill of you? Or that perhaps you are in the wrong? Listen to them now, with that keen sense of hearing you are so proud of. He's right. That was harsh. She didn't have to go that far. I feel kind of sorry for the witness. Why is the lawyer's outfit so yellow? No, I was just trying to find the truth. Why is the whole gallery siding with Prosecutor Sanmati? The people will understand. They know what is right and what is wrong. And that lawyer's still in training, isn't she? Why is she all by herself? I hear the voices of the gallery. I can hear the voices of their hearts. It's so intense, I feel alone up here, fighting by myself. Are you afraid, child? Is it ludicrous to come to trial with such paltry... It is ludicrous to come to trial with such paltry preparation of the soul. You know, I must say, Sanmati here is doing a whole lot better of a job, like manipulating the vibe of the room and using psychology against the defense than Blackwell ever really did. Because Blackwell's was really almost comical how his worked, because everyone just sort of went with him whenever he needed it to. But at least here, Sanmati, like, I can follow the reasoning about how this happened. Not to mention, his direct referencing of the gallery, I think is very significant, because I'm still upset that the jury thing from Apollo Justice 1 was completely dropped. I command you to leave this courtroom at once. But I can't give up. I have to. I have to keep pressing on. As long as there was a moment when nobody was watching the dressing room door, the defendant can't be convicted solely on Prosecutor Blackwell and Gary's testimonies. Even now, you would continue to resist? You are childish in defeat as well, I see. I'm not out for the count yet, Buster. I'm just getting started. Despite your posturing, is it not true that your resolve could... Bleh. Man, I'm thrown off. Let's try that again. Despite your posturing, is it not true that your resolve could crumble at any moment? With but a little push, you would surely succumb to despair. A little push, such as with this piece of conclusive evidence. Conclusive evidence, huh? That is correct. We found a critical piece of evidence at the scene of the crime. The victim's dying message, which clearly implicates the accused, Bucky Wet. Okay, here we are. Photo from a different angle. Ooh, there's a spot on the floor where a card probably was. Oh yeah, he's talking about the cards, yeah. Look at these Japanese playing cards, known as karuta, lined up on the table. These special English version karuta cards are spelled a message. That message, wet number 4. Wet number 4? You mean wet noodle number 4? Yes, wet noodle number 4, as the 4th head chef of Wet Soba is also known. This message points to none other than the accused, Bucky Wet. No! That's... what? Really? That's the way you're going with this? That's dumb.
That makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. Wow, great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Oh no, this is really, really bad. What do I do? What do I do? Would you still carry on your futile fight in the face of irrefutable evidence? You can say whatever you want, but we won't know until we... It is cruel to give the accused false hope. You will only compound his suffering. Wise people of the courtroom, do you not agree? He's right. It is cruel to make him suffer when there's conclusive evidence. It's not conclusive. Oh, I skipped one. It's not conclusive. This whole trial is stupid. I hate this trial so far. How could they make a trial start off so bad after coming all this way? Come on. Oh man, the stream is a little bit laggy, eh? What? But I'm trying to prove Mr. What's innocence here. I know you can hear them, Defense. Their voices implore you to save the accused soul. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Somebody, but I prefer to save the lives of the living, not the dead. It is time for you to let it go and move on, you inexperienced lawyer. You lack the competence which to accomplish anything meaningful here. Is he right? Is this too much for me to handle on my own? What good is she doing anybody? She should just quit right now. Ah. Now, Defense, leave everything to this humble servant of the Holy Mother.
Silence!
Yep, I was expecting that to happen. After all, when someone is so blatantly playing the audience, Black Quill should come in with his magical power to affect them. He's trying to use your keen sense of hearing against you to manipulate the trial, Athena. What a cheap trick for a supposedly holy man. Simon? And you fopdoodles in the gallery. Can't a man watch a trial in peace? The inexperienced amateur is about to turn the trial around. And does that prosecutor really think she can turn things around? Yeah, why are they allowed to talk? Come on, stop that. The mood in the courtroom is starting to change.
Prosecutor Blackquill, what are you doing at the defense's bench?
I grew bored of watching from the gallery. Wait, are the witnesses held in the gallery? Besides, if I were to leave this trial to the spring chick and lose my favorite soba shop in the process, I will be quite cross. You voluntarily stand on the side of impurity and sin? Truly, what a fool you are. To think, you were so easily manipulated by his parlor tricks. Whatever happened to qualified and capable Athena? I just let my guard down a little bit, but it won't happen again. Then gird up your loins and steel yourself for battle. I'm not girding up anything in this skirt, but I am ready to get serious. It seems there is now yet another soul I must cast down into hell. I was in prison for a long time, and hell sounds no worse than cell, to be honest. Ah, but the fires of hell will not be the end of your suffering. For the sin you have just committed, you shall surely be reborn as a panda in your next life. A white and black, reverse panda, that is. And you shall be put in a zoo to be exposed to public ridicule. A threat like that won't work on Prosecutor Blackquill. After all, he's already used to being looked like a panda in this life. Who are you calling a panda? Sorry. I see that you are both prepared to face the fires of damnation. Gabriel, thank you for your service. You may step down now. Okie dokie. Bye-bye, balloon. Oh, I'm surprised all those balloons didn't pop. Suppose that'll happen later, eh? Does everything have to be about balloons with her? Now then. I have a witness prepared to testify about the Karuta cards.
And who is the witness this time?
The first to discover the body, and someone who witnessed the crime seen firsthand. Mr. Uendo Tornado. The time has come for that ponytailed pair over there to finally let it all go and move on.
Very well. Let's bring in this witness then.
Man, we're meeting the whole cast in this first day of court, eh? Oh, short guy? No, just sitting.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
What voice do we want to give him? I am the Rakugo storyteller, Uendo Tornado. Even if my performance isn't worth watching, I will certainly watch my words. I wouldn't want to say anything thoughtless and get arrested. After all, that'd be a Raku no-no. Thank you, everybody. Good night. I don't like that voice. We need to change that. Gross. Yep, hold it. You can't leave yet. You've only just introduced yourself. Oh my. Are you a fan of mine, miss? Would you like my autograph? One moment. Oh, how skillful. Ow! What do you think you're doing? No need to stand on ceremony. My fan deserves a fan after all. A fan for a fan. Nice one. Oh, wife, it isn't Simon. How are you on this fine day, sir? I don't like this voice still. Quite a dilly of a pickle we found ourselves in, wouldn't you say? I don't believe I've ever seen you talk quite so much, Uendo. Never performed in a place like this, you know. I got butterflies, can't you see? Yeah, I don't like this voice I'm giving him, but I think I'm gonna have to stick with it. Because it's kind of the vibe he's giving me. Yeah, we can go with that. Maybe I'll change it when we get to testimony. Why do I always get the weird ones?
Pardon me, witness. As much as I enjoy your banter, I believe we had better return to the case at hand.
Ah, I suppose you're right. In that case... I was promoted to Futasume yesterday, and received the stage name of Uendo. The show was our way of celebrating my new name and middle rank standing. And then that happened. I never dreamed something like that happened, not in a million years. And just as I got my chance to start repaying my debt to Shisho, too. Yeah, plus I'm worried about Geiru. The way she clung to Shisho, poor thing. I told her to keep a stiff upper lip. Stiff like rigor mortis. Keep telling those lame jokes and Shisho will come scold you from the grave. Oh man, I'm really sort of doing terrible with this guy's voice, eh? I wouldn't mind getting yelled at, you know, if it meant seeing him again. Uendo, please, as charming as your various characters are, this isn't a Rakugo stage. Let us hear your testimony now, witness. Tell the court about the evidence left at the scene, the proof of the accused's guilt. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I just need to make sure that things are all working. Now, I still need to figure out something to do with this guy's voice, eh? I noticed Shisho's dying message right away. The stiff cards were right there next to the stiff, you see. Hey now, enough of the silly puns already. Anyway, I got the meeting right away. I knew it must have been talking about Bucky. That was the Master's final message, left as he was drowning in soba broth. It's so like Shisho not to write Bucky's name outright. Plain and simple wasn't his style.
Well, that was certainly a more entertaining testimony than usual. The variety of characters performed by the witness was absolutely splendid.
But he shouldn't be performing any characters in the first place, Your Honor. And Uendo, the murder weapon hasn't been determined yet. So how can you say that the victim was drowned in soba broth? It's obvious. All you have to do is look at the crime scene. He was found with his face shoved in a bowl. It's only natural to assume he was drowned in the broth for the noodles. Except we're not here to assume things, Uendo, so please just stick to the facts. Not to mention, according to... Well, we don't have an autopsy. Do we have an autopsy? We do. Yeah, nothing was found in the lungs, which means he did not drown. Actually, what... no, we won't start theorizing about how he died for now. We'll just try to get through this bit of testimony. My. It looks like a soba chef to... It's so like a soba... Bleh. It's so like a soba chef to kill someone this way, wouldn't you say? And with the Karuta message he left behind, it's so clear Bucky Wet did it. Oh, I hate doing that voice. I really need to think of something better.
Setting aside the issue of the murder weapon for now, that dying message certainly does seem to be irrefutable evidence.
Not quite. If I recall, we have a photo here that shows there was a card on the ground. Yeah? Not to mention the spill marks on the cards are all completely wrong. Indeed. It proves the guilt of the accused. Even I've got to admit, I can't see how the message could mean anything else. Bucky used the soba for the deed. All to get back at the soba the soba shop deed. Yeah, and I'm still not sure about that part of the argument, because I suppose I just had to accept at this point that stealing a deed in this universe gives you the property, or at least withholds it from someone else. But that really does not seem like it's a great motive. I mean, it would work as a motive if those rules applied. But I don't think it's the way they're going to go with this. It's very obviously a red herring. Ah, this testimony makes Mr. Wet look super guilty. I had to do something. That's his conclusive evidence? What a farce. What do you mean, Simon? What's this? I thought you said you weren't planning on asking me for help. I did, and I won't, thank you very much. Simon must have found an inconsistency within his testimony. I'd better listen carefully and try and see what can be found. Yes. What was even in this testimony? It's been a second, so I've already forgotten. You noticed the dying message right away. Yeah, but how do I communicate this dying message is wrong? What even... I suppose we'll probably have like a little puzzle segment where we have to put it together based off of how this game's been in the past. But I can't quite tell what it is supposed to be at this exact moment. And I'm not going to spend time trying to reconstruct that in my mind. Let's see. How about... I think we just had to press everything here, yeah? Nothing particularly sticks out. I mean, we could press this. Oh, actually, don't press that. Oh, yeah, we should press it first, but we can just present the autopsy report on that since no water was found in the lungs. So the victim lined up those cards in his final moments? How can you be so certain that's how it went down? I know, Shisho. He would never let someone get the last word on him, even in death. With his face in the soba broth and his consciousness fading away, he left a message that pointed toward Bucky as he left this world. It's the only way it could have happened. Wait, the only way? Now you're just speculating. Look, a dying message is something you leave as you're dying, right? I saw a scene like that in a detective show. Uendo, we have a saying in my country. Silence is more precious than diamonds. Please do not speak any more than is necessary. But talking is my livelihood, you know? I talk all the time. This and that, truths and untruths. I can't stop myself from talking. Hopefully he'll just stick to the truths without any of those untruths. Okay, so I think we just present there, yeah? No water in the lungs? Not to mention, I don't think he could leave a message if his face was down, but let's go with the water in the lungs first.
Objection!
Yep, perfect. There's a contradiction in Nuendo's testimony.
And would you care to explain where, Miss Sykes?
Oh, we're playing this out? Really? Oh, wait, no, she just says that sometimes. Certainly, Your Honor. According to the autopsy report, nothing unusual was found in the victim's lungs.
It does say that, doesn't it?
If he had drowned in a bowl of soba, then there should have been soba broth in his lungs. But since there wasn't any, it means the victim was suffocated with something other than soba broth. Why are you so shy? Well, I guess he's shocked because he's a performer, yeah.
What?
This is the contradiction you noticed, isn't it, Simon?
Heh, not bad.
Not bad at all. I guess I showed you. That was okay. I'm sorry. I need to stop and talk about this trial for a minute. This trial, so far, in my eyes, is poorly written. Poorly written enough that I have to stop and talk about it. Because we just, in the required dialogue, talked about how we have confirmed that the cause of death, is unconfirmed. And then the immediate thing after we do is point out the contradiction that the cause of death is unconfirmed. This trial is really starting to build up bad marks, which is unfortunate, because I've loved this game so far. I really have. So I'm not sure, like, how I should be feeling right now. Especially coming back on break. We're gonna keep going, of course. The further we go in this, the more I'm beginning to think that this is going to be a 2-day trial. It could even be like a 1-day trial, if they really wanted to push it, since they've introduced so many characters. But we're definitely not doing it all tonight. We'll probably get through like half of it.
But if drowning in soba broth wasn't the cause of death, then when was the victim's face thrust into that bowl?
Haifu Tornado's face was thrust into the bowl. It was afterwards. That's why there's no water in the lungs. Because no soba broth was discovered in the victim's lungs, his head must have been placed in the bowl after he was killed. And that's when the soba broth must have been spilled onto the Karuta cards. In other words, the victim could not have lined the cards up as he was drowning.
I see. So it was done after he was already dead. But why would the culprit do such a thing?
I'm afraid I don't know yet. What? You don't know why the culprit would rearrange the cards? It's to make a, accuse someone else. What is happening here? Huh. You boast of psychological expertise, yet you cannot determine such a simple motive. My sides are liable to split at the absurdity. What? And I suppose you know why? Of course. Desecrating the body in that manner indicates a strong sense of enmity on the part of the perpetrator.
Yes, that does make sense. It certainly paints a clear picture of the culprit's intense feelings towards the victim.
Feelings of resentment over the theft of the soba shop's deed, no doubt. Just great. Now the judge has an even more unfavorable impression of Bucky.
Silence!
Must you come undone at every juncture? If the culprit had enough time to set up Master Tornado's body, do you think they would have honestly failed to notice the dying message? Good point. The cards were right in front of the body after all. Rationally speaking, there's no way the culprit could have missed that, huh?
Objection!
But the accused rationale... But was the accused rational at the time, given that he stormed out of the room?
Silence!
Never mind that. I have something more important to ask Uendo. Me? You saw the Karuta cards firsthand, did you not? Would you care to tell us more about them in a bit more detail? Those tiny crime scene photos show us precious little of what I wish to know. Well, those cards are from Shisho's special Soba Scenes of Tokyo past set. Each card is related in some way to Soba. Spare me the history lesson. Just tell me how the cards looked at the scene, and no more. There was soba broth spilled all over them.
That's not much help, I'm afraid. Prosecutor Sanmari, do you have a photo that shows the cards more clearly?
Oh man, my voice is starting to go. I do. Please accept this meager offering, Your Honor. Oh, look at him hesitating because he withheld information.
Oh my, what delightful looking cards.
And now we can actually see which one's which. W, E, N, 4, T, H. 40H. Well, it's Owen something, right? Unless we can go over that one more time. Let's see. O is first, undoubtedly. Yeah, and then W. E's in place. Oh, I guess T could be in place as well. But it would make more sense for it to be N. Yeah, so Owen. And then, 4TH. What does 4TH mean? 4TH. Oh, fourth. Duh. How could I overlook that? So, Owen fourth. Who's Owen fourth? Or what is 0 and 4th? It could be a person or a thing. Or it's code to the safe, maybe? No, it's not a code to the safe, because they already had this code to the safe. Well, well. Tearing Prosecutor Sod Monk's conclusive evidence apart should be a breeze with this. Huh? Don't tell me you haven't noticed. Don't be silly, of course I have. Not noticed anything, but I can't exactly say that now, can I?
Miss Sykes, do you really see a problem with the prosecution's claim about these cards?
Well, go on then. Alright, it's do or die. All I have to do is study the picture and... These cards were rearranged. Yeah, that's what I just said.
But how can you tell?
Please take a good look at these cards, Your Honor. The answer's right in front of us.
Where exactly should we be looking, Miss Sykes?
The, stains. There we go. Please focus your attention on the soba broth stains on these cards. The outline of these stains don't match up with the larger stain on the table.
Oh, would you look at that? You're absolutely right. And?
Please recall that the soba broth was spilled and got on the cards after the murder, when the victim's face was placed in the bowl.
Yes, go on.
By the stains, we can see that the culprit deliberately rearranged the cards after that. In other words, this message was altered in order to pin the crime on my client.
What? Then, if we put the cards back in their original positions...
We can restore the evidence and see who the cards were really pointing toward.
That's true.
Tolkun. Then, what are we waiting for? Let's do this. I wonder how this this card on the ground here comes into place, because we can see down there's an outline of a card that has probably been removed from the scene, or maybe put back in the box. It's hard to actually, hold on, there's powder underneath it. Well, I guess that makes sense, because he was making a mess. But... Oh, I didn't even notice. There's an imprint of a card on the left side of the table as well. Okay. So neither of those are the box, because the box is way too big. But if we analyze what cards are in the set, we could probably determine what's missing, yeah? Can't do that quite yet, though. All I have to do is rearrange the cards so the stains match up. Yep. Here's the puzzle I was talking about. I'm not gonna read every step of the puzzle, let's just do it. Can I grab it? Nope, I had to move it, okay. Where? Yeah, right here. Yep. And right here. Oh, this is gonna be really slow, isn't it? Oh wow, they really want to hold your hand on every step of this, huh? I thought this was going to be more like the Blue Badger thing from the first game, where they sort of let you helplessly flop around until you get it. And there we go. Puzzle completed. Yes, take that indeed. So, the message wet number 4 was originally supposed to say 0 and 4th. And this original message is our clue to the identity of the true culprit.
What?
Heh. That indignant look on the prosecutor Sod Monk's face is positively priceless. This is absurd. I don't necessarily think it points to... So was originally 0 and 4th? It wasn't wet number 4? Maybe the lawyer is smarter than we thought.
Order in the court.
I don't necessarily think it points to the culprit. I think it could just be part of the act. And we use it to point to the fact that someone else... Well, I guess it does point to the culprit. Just not... It points to the existence of the culprit, not to the identity, I suppose.
Well, I never would have imagined that there was more to these cards than meets the eye. So, now that that's settled, what does this 0 and 4th mean?
Wait, am I... Who else do you suppose is to provide an explanation? Of course it's you. But I hadn't thought that far yet. Change the cards around all you'd like, but if you cannot explain what the message means, then it is as worthless as you are, Defense. No, no. Please do not tell me that they're going to ignore this obvious point again, that the fact that the cards are arranged is in of itself valuable evidence. Come on. There doesn't need to be a meaning. No! Oh, they are going to ignore it. Okay. And so the spring chick that fancies itself a graceful swan is brought back down to earth. I have to do something, but what? Still your thoughts for a second. There's a perfectly good witness to question over there. Oh, right. That's a good idea. Come on, Athena. Get a hold of yourself. Wendo, does the phrase Owen Fourth mean anything to you? No. There's no one named Owen in the Tornado family, or our circle of friends. Go ahead, ask anybody you'd like. You can't be serious. Hold on, let me think. Owen. O-N. No, I don't think it would be anything if it was backwards. I was thinking maybe read it right to left because it's supposed to be Japanese. But that doesn't make much sense now, does it? And I don't think there's any way to put into someone else's name at all. Having rummaged through your empty mind, I see you have, as expected, turned up nothing.
Silence!
I'm afraid I have no idea who the devil this Owen Fourth is either. But the fact remains that the cards were rearranged to pin the blame on Mr. Wet. Oh, thank you, Black Quill. Oh, I don't usually like you, but I like you now. That in itself proves that the defendant isn't the real culprit. Prosecutor Blackquill is right. Besides, the important question here is not who does the message point to, but rather, who rearranged the cards? Why didn't you point that out earlier if you already knew? Sorry. In any case, there were two opportunities for someone to rearrange the cards. The first was when Mr. Wet entered the dressing room, and the second was when Owendo discovered the body. Are you accusing me of rearranging the cards? Me, who came to testify out of the goodness of my heart? I thought you came to testify due to a court order, bud. Well, you didn't exactly come out running, screaming straight away, did you? Even a mere 2 to 3 minutes is more than enough time to get up to some devilry. So what exactly were you doing in there, Uendo? Now is he about to do a spit take? Put down the tea and spit out your answer. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, what's a guy supposed to do at a time like this? A spit take. Come on, you're a comedian. Silence is more precious than diamonds, witness. Therefore, you need only stay silent. The defense is devious. They are waiting for you to make a slip of the tongue. Oh, I see. So that's what they're after, is it? In that case, Your Honor, I've decided not to say another word. What? Huh? What? No. No. The only person who's allowed to do that is the Chief of Police. Why? No. Stop that. Bad. Bad game. Bad writers. Very good. After all, your right to remain silent is protected by the law. No. No, it's not. No. The right of the accused is to remain silent. You do not have to testify against yourself, considering that this is officially now set in the United States of America, as of this game, I believe. This guy has to testify. Oh my god, how's this trial keep getting worse? Oh my god, and I'm going to be doing this again tomorrow. I hope it gets better by tomorrow. Well, Prosecutor Blackville, any other brilliant ideas you'd like to share? Did you hear that, Sykes Dono? A Rakugo artist who's afraid to speak. Who's ever heard of such a thing? Are you trying to taunt him into talking? Such a petty trick will never work. That's right. I'm not going to fall for it. I'm only asking to hear your story. Besides, is it not your job to tell your tales if there's an audience to listen? Even so, I have the right to refuse to answer. The more you keep quiet, the more we want you to talk. That's simply human nature. Isn't that right, people of the gallery? Oh, there we go. Balakquill actually playing up to what he's supposed to be. A good manipulator. Even with this wonderful audience in front of you, you still refuse to talk. If so, then perhaps you chose the wrong line of work, my friend. Are you saying I should quit? Because I'm not afraid to speak my mind, I'll have you know. Oh no, never mind what I just said. It is scary to talk, it is absolutely terrifying. But no, as a Rakugo artist, I must talk. If I don't, how can I ever show my face on the stage again? Your Honor, I'm ready to testify. He did it! He managed to convince Uendo with his power of suggestion technique. No, that's not a power. He's just good at what he's good at what he does. He had power in the previous game where he just magically made people think things. Bully for you, Uendo. That's a real Rakugo, as a real Rakugo artist should be. All right. Oh man, my voice. Hold on. All right. If the witness wishes to testify, in all means, please do. To be turned by such an obvious ploy. What a man of weak spirit. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table, motionless. From what I can tell, there do not appear to be any inconsistencies in the testimony. Of course there aren't, because I'm not trying to hide anything. Prosecutor Satomati is right. I don't see anything inconsistent either. Yeah, well, the inconsistency isn't present because it's incomplete, yeah? But I did pick up on some faint discord in Wendo's heart. Ponder all you would like, defense, but it is pointless. Your Honor, I believe there is no need for further deliberation.
Hold it!
Oh, okay. Is it therapy time? I disagree, Your Honor. I detect discord in the voice of the witness's heart. Ah, terrible delivery. That's a clear indication that Uendo is facing some sort of inner turmoil.
Are you saying what I think you're saying, Miss Sykes?
Yes, Your Honor. The defense would like to conduct a quick therapy session for our unknown witness. I really think it's weird that they call it a therapy session. I mean, I guess it's accurate. But they definitely could have thought of something better. Uendo, there's no need for you to submit to the so-called therapy. It's fine by me. I have nothing to hide. Bring it on. Impetuous fool! Why will you not listen to the guidance of this humble servant of the Holy Mother?
If the witness wishes to proceed, I see no problem, prosecutor.
In one ear and out the other. It seems this performer has no need for your so-called guidance, Prosecutor Sad Monk. Just know this, Uendo. Your folly will surely earn you divine retribution. Thanks, Simon. I'm going to make the most of this opportunity you created for me. Heh. Just keep your wits about you. I will. Uendo, can you tell us about what happened in the dressing room? Okay. Therapy time. I've gotten quite a bit more used to it, so it's starting to grow on me. Then again, I haven't done this in like 3 weeks. So let's see if I remember the controls. Yep, everything's normal so far. Yeah, that's... seems to be about normal. I think the only thing here is that for some reason you're still happy when you didn't get a reply.
Got it!
Nope, that's not it. Okay, skip over. I'm not gonna read the failure dialogue, come on. Oh, he actually had something to say. Maybe I should have read it. If I fail again, I'll read it. But I don't think I will. Well, and if it's not that he's neutral against having no reply, then I suppose it's that he's immediately shocked upon seeing him passed out. That doesn't seem wrong, right? Let's go over this one more time before I click it. Your performance, you went to go visit him and you were happy because your performance finished. Makes sense. You called up to him and you're still happy. Didn't get a reply and you're still happy. And then you're immediately sad. Oh, is it because you're sad and not shocked? Okay. I always forget that there's a difference there, yeah. And Wendo, something here just doesn't match. Okay, it would seem I'm wrong. Maybe it has to be the lack of shock, not the presence of sadness? Or is that fear or surprise? I don't remember. Match. Ah, I see. Match as in manage to assert a thoughtful, calculated hypothesis. In other words, you are the something here that didn't match, correct? It appears you've met your match. No worries. That was just one match. There's still the rest of the game to go. Okay, yeah. In that case, I assume it's the lack of surprise. Yeah. That is assuming I'm remembering this is surprise. Okay, yeah. And Wendo, I'm noticing something strange with these emotions. Some thin stranger with cheesy toe skin, you say? No, something strange with these emotions. How could you have heard some thin stranger with cheesy toe skin? I don't know. Maybe it's me who's got some cheese in my ears. Did he will the floor to open up and swallow some of his cushions out of shame for that bad joke? Oh man, I need to get better at reading, eh? Oh wow, there's something really loud in the background too. Okay. The point I'm trying to make is that I noticed something unexpected in your emotions. Now, stop hiding and come out where we can see you.
Bailiff, please bring the witness a few replacement cushions.
Oh? So, what was this unexpected thing you noticed? Oh, come on! His Honor said a few cushions, not a few dozen. Athena, you're being roped into playing the straight man role. Come on. Rakugo is supposed to be a solo act.
Now that we've all had a good laugh, please continue, Miss Sykes.
Who's laughing? Focus, Athena. Don't let yourself get rattled. When you entered the room and saw your master slumped motionless over the table, you weren't the least bit shocked, Uendo. Don't you think that's a little odd? Is it, though? The lack of surprise means you were prepared for what you saw. And I think I know why. The reason Uendo wasn't shaken when he saw his master's dead body is because, you knew about the death, right? Same as, the clown. Uendo, I think maybe the reason you weren't shaken was because you already knew you would find your master dead. Oh, how nice. They did that line for me. What? What kind of thing to say is that? You got it all wrong. Oh, right. I just remembered something. I thought Shisho was sleeping when I first saw him. No, probably not. You thought he was sleeping? It sounds plausible, but what made you think he was asleep? Well, he had his head and arms up on the table as if he were taking a nap. Oh, and one other thing. There was that note, too. A note? What note? He must be talking about this. Oh, come on, why are you withholding evidence? It appears to have been written by the victim. Allow me to read it. Resting. Do not disturb. I've seen this camel packaging somewhere. Where was it? Oh, it's the wrapping paper for the camel buns things. Okay. Yes, that's the note I saw. After reading that, who wouldn't think Shisho was napping? Is there anything else written on those? Not that I can see, but that piece that's upside down probably has something on it, right?
That is a pretty reasonable assumption.
You've got to be kidding me. Can I look at the back of that? That's right. I saw this note, so that's why I thought Shisha was asleep. No, I cannot see the back of it. Okay. But if you thought he was asleep, then why were you sad? How about that? I want to change my testimony to include that statement. Alright, I'll run an update. Let's see here. Oh, it's gonna... Yep, slow text. Forgot about that. But he didn't reply. Here's our first new one, right? When I opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. But something seemed off, so I rushed over to him. I was so shocked to find him dead, I couldn't believe my eyes. Anger. Why anger? Is it because he was... Okay, I suppose you could be neutral by the time you open the door. And then anger... Okay, so here's my issue here, is that I can justify these emotions. He's happy because he's just finished his act and he's going to go see his master. His master does not give a reply, and so now that feeling's starting to fade, and then he gets angry whenever he sees him sleeping, even though he was expecting visitor. And that's the issue, is that I just completely justified it, at least in my eyes. So but even though I've completely justified it in my eyes, I don't think that's what the game wants. In which case, I'm going to try the anger anyway. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, I was right. And Wendo, I noticed something funny in your emotions again. Funny, you say? I guess an entertainer of my caliber can make people laugh even with my emotions. I didn't mean that kind of funny. Quite the opposite, actually. When you entered the dressing room, I see that you suddenly felt anger. What I wanted to know is, what made you feel angry all of a sudden? What? Let's see. Oh yeah, now I remember. As I was going in, I whacked my little piggy on something. I was annoyed at my own clumsiness. Well, wait, you mean you stubbed your pinky toe? What was on the floor? Tell me. Show me. It doesn't seem like there's anything immediately in the door. In fact, the door seems to be more elevated than the... Actually, no, it seems to be the same elevation as the inside and the outside. Not high enough to stub. Did you kick the box, perhaps? All the way over there? That's possible, but why would the box be by the door? Let's see. Just a little bump on my little piggy. No big deal. It's embarrassing, really. Sounds more like he's hiding something. I'd better dig it a little deeper. No need to be embarrassed, Wendo, but I'm afraid it's something we do need to look into. I don't really see anything you could have stubbed your toe on in the area around the dressing room door in this picture, but maybe there was something there at the time. And Wendo, when exactly did you stub your toe on? What an irrelevant question. You dishonor the soul of the victim with these unnecessary delays. You tell her. Really, who doesn't stub their toe every once in a while? You really gotta fuss over every small detail like this? Well, the thing is... Even the most subtle of fluctuations in a person's psyche can clue us into the truth. That's why it's important to get to the bottom of this question. Plus, if I back down now, who knows what new insult Simon will hurl my way? Is there really no trace of what Wendo was... Oh, the table. That's what the imprint was from. It's not from a card that was on the ground. It's from the table being moved. Oh, how did I not put that together? There are even two imprints right there and there. I talked about that earlier too. Dang. Okay. Well, I guess I overlooked that. What in the world might have been there, but is not there right now? The table.
Take that!
Oh, it's not the table, really. Okay. Well, let me think. Would it be the box? But there's no proof that the box is there, or was there. Let's see, no, is there really no trace of what Uendo stubbed his toe on by the door? Well, let's take a look and see what could have moved. The television could have moved, but that would be stupid. The refrigerator could have moved, but that'd also be kind of stupid. But these have powder on top of them, so they didn't move, considering how close they are to the ground. The box could have moved, but why would it be so close to the door? And that we know the table did move at some point because of these imprints from the legs, but for some reason the table's not the answer. In which case, I'm going to go with the box, yeah? Yeah. No, it's not the box either, huh? No, I can never stub my toe on that. That would really be starting things out on the wrong foot, right, Mr. Golden Ager?
Golden Ager? Don't you dare send me off to the retirement home yet, Sonny. Anyway, I hope Miss Sykes didn't stub her toes on the...
What?
I hope Miss Sykes didn't stub her toes on her teeth as her foot entered her mouth.
That's a terrible line, come on. Well, defense, are you ready to let it go and move on now? Of course not. Why Ueno stubbed his little toe on is a vitally important question, I think. Well, okay, so let's think. It's not the box. It's probably not the table because I clicked on that, unless for some reason this counts as the drink hit box. And this box was most certainly not on the floor because there's no evidence of it. These were there, but they're not by the door. Not wrong button. Let me see. Yeah, it just seems, because if we rotate the table back to where it was before, it's really close to the door. Did I just misclick? We can try it again. Oh, I did misclick. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Please take a good look at this photo of the crime scene. Do you see it? This long track that goes from the door all the way across the room?
Now that you mention it, I do see traces of something getting dragged.
And the drag mark ends... there, the TV. What? I didn't click the TV. Is this scene glitched? Is this scene poorly coded? I mean, huh? What? Okay, well, I mean, I clicked the table and it selected the TV. I guess we'll just go with it, huh? This implies the TV was originally by the door. I'm convinced that this TV is the object the witness stubbed his toe on. Well, Uendo, how about it? Yes, you're right. It was the TV. And let me guess, it was playing Rakugo Act from your master? There, the noise level dropped again. Yes, I stubbed my pinky toe on the TV. But what of it? Why is this so important to you? So the noise went down, but it hasn't completely disappeared yet, which means he's still hiding something. Okay, let's try this tactic then instead. Uendo, why was the TV moved there? Shisho must have moved it so we could watch my routine. But what a place to put it, right in the middle of the doorway like that. I didn't want to bump into it again, so I put it back where it belonged. Performances on stage can be viewed in the dressing room using that TV? That's right. It's a closed-circuit monitor that shows the stage. Oh, okay. Well, no, it has a VCR built into it. I see. Now what? I can't find anything else out of place. And I still haven't gotten the noise level down to 0 yet. Simon, I'm still getting noise here, but I don't see anything else fishy. This is precisely why amateurs are such a bother. Sorry. I'm in no mood to play nursemaid here, but if that's what it takes to save the soba shop... Oi, Uendo, here's a curiosity for you. This table Master Tornado is slumped over looks like it was moved. Did you happen to bump into it while you were moving the TV back? Oh my! Yes, you're right. The TV hit the table and Shisho's body moved with a jolt. And that's when I first realized that Shisho was dead. Oh, but how scared I was. I see. Thank you. We are finally getting a more precise picture of how the body was discovered. But I'd wager you need to put the spurs to Uendo just a trifle longer. Right. I can't keep asking Simon to bail me out like this. It's time for me to regain my footing and really stand on my own. Uendo, what you said just now about discovering your master's death. Could you please describe all of that again for the court in detail? Alright. But before you do, let me just plug the latest information. Yep, okay. And now we gotta get through the slow text. And what do we think it's gonna be? Open the door while you're sleeping. Yep, and then you're gonna stub your toe on the TV. Which was, yeah, see, this is another issue I've had with this TV argument, is that, why is the TV behind him? And now that we have an illustration, why is it facing away? I mean, obviously it's so that, like, people outside think he's performing or practicing. But why would he argue that it was being used to monitor the stage? Let's see. Yeah, pull the TV back to its normal spot, and it's very heavy, which makes sense. And you realize he's dead. And what do we got here? Seeing him slumped over like that, cluttered table. Huh. Is this... Can I take a look at this picture again? I can't tell if that... Okay, yeah, the glass is half at half. Okay. Yeah, this picture is accurate to the other one, other than the cards having yet to be rearranged. Seeing him slumped over the table. And it's mostly shock. Why does your shock increase so much? It doesn't look like you thought he was... discovered he was dead. It looks more like you are shocked that the cards are getting ruined. Is that it? Well, that's odd. After the initial shock of finding the victim dead, you reacted with surprise again. What was it that surprised you, Uendo, besides your master's death? What do you mean? What's more, you were even more surprised the second time than the first. What could have surprised you more than finding your late master? Search me. You little thingy must have made a mistake.
Silence!
The girl is as sharp as a trout, to be sure. But her ability to hear people's emotions is absolute. Now, get to remembering, Uendo. What was it that surprised you? That was a compliment, right? Well, Oh, it's back up. No, we've pushed him too hard and now he's mentally all over the place. His emotions are completely out of control. Out of control? Care to explain how that's relevant? You know how normally I listen for the hidden emotions in a witness's voice, right? From there I look for inconsistencies between their testimony and those emotions. But sometimes a person's feelings can run too high, making it hard to get proper readings. So, that's how your Matrix program works. Fascinating. Ordinarily, it's just one emotion that runs out of control. But it seems there's nothing ordinary about it this time. Okay, is this gonna be like it was with, oh, what was his name? The detective from the previous game when he freaked out at the end? Oh, no, it's this thing. Okay, I remember. I think. Yep, and we just had to look for the one that... What was it? That's consistent? Or the one that has something else in it? I forget, actually. Nope, I don't remember. I said I did, I don't. Yeah, put it back to his normal spot and realize he was dead. Yep, and then you're sad. I knew it! What's got your knickers and all in a bunch now? The window has multiple emotions running out of control at the same time. I've never seen anything like this, ever. Okay, it was not me not remembering, it's just that we haven't done this yet. So, how does one bring a situation like this back under control? I'll have to find the root cause of this tangled mess before I can treat him. If I can identify what is causing this emotional rampage, then I can probe to dive in further. I'll need to point to what I think the root cause of this is. Okay, so I need to go probe the cards, I assume? And that will help bring his emotions back under control. In that case, let's get started, shall we? Alright, I can't guarantee success, but it's definitely worth a shot. Time for the look for the root cause of Wendo's rampaging emotions. Yeah. So I assume I can just ignore anything that isn't an object then? Because the emotions are not supposed to make sense right now. And then we probe the cards, yeah? Good. Good. Very straightforward. I get it now. The cards were the root of it all. Don't try to deny it. You can't hide your feelings from me. The dying message that was left at the scene of the crime is what was causing your distress. And if the dying message was the cause of all those feelings, then that means the phrase Owen forth must mean something to you. Okay, there we go. Finished with the therapy session. Bye-bye, widget. There! Noise level 0. Finally! The dying message consists of 2 words, Owen and forth. But neither of these two words have anything to do with the witness. This topic warrants no further argument. Sure, there may not seem to be any direct connection between Uwendo and the message, for now, but why don't you wait and see what's necessary after you hear my theory? I trust you've hit upon something, Athena. Yep, if my theory is right, we can finally solve the case of Uwendo and the mysterious Owen Forth. Well, go on then.
I can already tell this promises to be interesting. Now, please share your theory with the court, Miss Sykes.
There was something puzzling to me about Uwendo's out-of-control emotions just now. Namely, that there were 3 distinct reactions present. I had never seen that before, and I wondered how it could be possible. Is there a conclusion to this meandering musing of yours? Hold your horses, I'm getting there. So, could a person flip between 3 distinct emotions of such intensity like a switch? In the end, I concluded it just wasn't possible.
Ha ha ha! Oh, where are you going with this? So that's it, is it? A bit unconventional, but I'll grant that it's possible within the realm of psychology. Within the realm of psychology? I'm afraid you'll have to explain it for the old man up here on the bench.
Your Honor, my theory is that Uwendo... Well, I was just going to say that he has multiple... Not back, no. I was just thinking that he was in the middle of performing, but considering his performance has to do with playing multiple characters, and how he is continuing to shift between them even here in court, I assume it is the multiple personality route, yeah? With so many distinct personas, it's clear to me that Uwendo has dissociative identity disorder. Man, I'm bad at pronouncing that.
What does that even mean?
Your Honor, the defense would treat this trial as a child's jest. Multiple personality disorder? A preposterous proposition, indeed. Would you not agree, witness? How does she know? How did she figure it out? Well, that about sums that up. A bit of a leap, but I suppose it fits with the theme.
Pokunka!
I can't believe it. I did it, Simon. I've read papers on it before, but to think I'd see a case of it for myself. Blimey. Rakugo artists tell stories as different characters, but as different personalities? Hey, you, lawyer girl. You've got a problem with us? Huh? No, no problem at all.
This is all very hard to believe. But now that we've established that the witness has multiple personalities, could each of them please introduce themselves to this court?
Uendo Tornado. I'm a Rakugo storyteller, as you know. Hello, everybody. Patches, the friendly jester here. Kisegawa, courtesan. And is that all of you? Yes, that's all of us. So, there are 3 personalities in total. Uendo, Patches, and Kisegawa, huh? Well, Simon, what do you think now?
That you're one lucky duck. Just be glad they were dense enough to help you out.
Can't you just straight up say I did great for a change?
Heh.
You appear to be quite proud of yourself, Defense. But all you have done is infringe upon the privacy of the witness. I couldn't disagree more, Prosecutor. Now that we know there are 3 personalities, a new way for us to interpret the meaning of a certain piece of evidence has arisen.
A new interpretation? Oh, now I'm very curious. What is this piece of evidence you're talking about, Miss Sykes?
Knowing what we know about Uendo and his personalities, this now makes perfect sense. What would it be, actually? We don't have much evidence. He didn't show up in here, did he? Uendo discovered the body upon entering the room. Yeah, okay, let's see. I don't actually know. Huh. Why is this connecting to evidence? I hadn't even thought of this. I thought we were going to keep going. Also, why is it completely quiet? That's so weird. It's not Simon's statement, right? It just says Uendo discovered the victim's body, which has nothing to do with the personalities. Owen 4th. Oh. Idea. Let's think for a moment. Owen 4th. There are 3 personalities, but this says 4th. It has a name on it. What if there's a 4th one named Owen? Yeah. This is a stretch, but I'm going to take this little leap in logic. See if that's right. Aha, I was right. Aha.
The Karuta cards?
That's right, Your Honor. Recall that the original dying message left at the scene. We didn't have a clue as to what Owen 4th could have possibly meant. But now, with this new information about Uendo and his personalities, isn't it possible that Owen 4th actually means a secret 4th personality of Uendo's? A personality named Owen?
What?
Okunka. Uendo must have kept his dissociative identity disorder from us because he didn't want to be associated in any way with that dying message. No, that's not why. We kept our disorder a secret for a different reason altogether. We've been taking advantage of our affliction to act out various Rakugo characters. If a word of this got out, well, our reputation as a Rakugo artist would be tarnished, as would the Tornado name. No, it wouldn't. What sort of logic is that? People would probably love that. Like how the twins did the teleporting act in a previous chapter. That's why we kept it a secret from everyone, except members of the Tornado School. But really, there is no 4th personality. It's just the 3 of us in here. Oh, and this is an interesting thing. So, let's talk about it. Because I don't get a chance to do this much in these streams, because I'm reading most of the time. But the reason I thought of the 4th personality in the first place, because there's this little show, also comic, called Moon Knight. Recently watched it. It's about a guy with split personality, and he doesn't know it, which is what got me thinking about this. So I'm thinking maybe, even if, so he's denying it here, right? and Athena's probably not going to pick up anything in his voice, in which case I assume that he just doesn't know that he has the fourth personality, yeah? That'd be a nice little writing twist. A plausible enough sounding story. But it doesn't prove you didn't rearrange the cards, does it? But, I will concede that it is highly likely that the witness rearranged the cards. Is Prosecutor Sanmari actually agreeing with us? No, he's using a tactic, agree with one thing to deny another. However, it is also not, is it not also possible that the accused killed Master Tornado? And what? Tell me. And then left that message in order to frame the witness? And upon noticing the cards when he found the victim's body, Uendo rearranged them.
Silence!
A fantastic tale, but a tale nonetheless. No one outside the Tornado School knew about Uendo's multiple personalities. Uendo just finished saying so himself. Ah, that is a true but ultimately meaningless point. The witness was only in the dressing room for 2 to 3 minutes. That's far too little time to commit murder, wouldn't you say? Not at all, no. Then who's to say he couldn't have done it before his discovery? That spring chick memory of yours. Have you already forgotten Prosecutor Blackquill's testimony? Simon's testimony? Oh. Geiru escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of Rakugo being performed from within. Thinking that Master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done. That's right. Until just a few moments before Uendo entered the dressing room, Taifu Tornado was confirmed to still be alive. Ah, no! Oh, she said no, didn't she? Not only that, but Uendo was on stage until just before he discovered the body. A bulletproof alibi that I have already confirmed with several audience members. Oh, no. I also heard that his Rakugo performance that day was a steaming pile of, well, you get the picture. Yes, I'm afraid so. Really stunk up the stage, I did. And yet, I have a perfect alibi. Indeed. Why not land the coup de grace on the defense by describing your alibi, witness? Okie dokie, Smokey. Well, if you were being terrible at your performance that day, that sort of compounds with Geiru's sort of thousand yard stare that you both already knew he was dead, yeah? I was on stage until just moments before I went into the dressing room. The entire audience was my witness. But my performance was a huge bust. Not a single soul laughed. I'll never be able to live down how terribly I bombed that very important show. Uendo was on stage before he found the body, so he could not have committed this crime. It is time to let it all go, defense, and move on. Well, get this, Prosecutor Sanmari. The Right Anything Agency never gives up. We fight to the bitter end. Feh. I am very much aware of that by now. But allow me to say this once more. Let it go, and move on. And allow me to say once more, I'm never giving up. Let it go, and never. This is pointless. You should have taken advantage of the opportunity while you could, you foolish child. Your worthless convictions only serve to prolong the accused's suffering. If words will not sway you, then perhaps pain will. Oh no. Oh, anything but this. Wait, really? How do you even get that on you? You have a huge ponytail. Yeah! Oh, right, I forgot it does that. How odd. What's the big deal, Prosecutor Sanmari? That was but a small dose of punishment for your misguided convictions. Are you now a bit more inclined to give up, as instructed? As if... In that case, you must require another dose. Is Black Widow gonna stop it? Thank you. Yep. Not bloody likely. Ugh. I don't give two flips about your beliefs. But if Psych Stono were to submit to you here, I won't be able to eat good soba anymore. That's right. For Mr. Wet's future and Prosecutor Blackwell's stomach, I will never give up. You will rue those words, Defense. Of that I can assure you. Oh, okay, that's a bit of an odd transition. Back to the alibi. On stage until just moments before you went to the dressing room. The entire audience was your witness. Yeah, why was your performance a bust? How about you tell me that? Do you have any idea what went wrong? I'm not sure if it was my performance, or if it was just that particular audience. Or maybe it was the story I picked. But every entertainer knows that this kind of thing happens from time to time. I guess that makes sense. Still, I wonder how he could have flopped at his own commemorative show. Maybe I should dig into things a little bit. Why don't you tell me what you performed? That's very important for me to know. Could you tell me which Rakugo story you performed? I could, but I'm not sure if it would mean anything to the uninitiated. Well, even if I might not get it, can't you at least try me? Alright, if you insist. The story I performed is called Toki Soba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Time Soba, huh? Maybe Uendo's right. He only said the name of the routine and I'm already lost. No, this is very important. Ah, so you performed Time Soba, did you? Well, let's take a look in here real quick. Geiru performs the Balloon Act, Uendo was to do Soba Glutton, and Master Tornado was to do Time Soba. See? That's very important. Because, as we saw in Simon's statement, they were... Oh, well, he didn't say it in there, but he didn't go in because he believed that the Master was practicing Time Soba. Yeah? But it was actually the TV, because it was by the door. Good. You solved the next discussion bit. What? You know Prosecutor Sanmari? In the course of my studies last night, I became familiar with a number of stories. I must say, Defense, you would do well to prepare your better for your next trial. Simon, what's Time Soba about? Look it up yourself. Allow me to give an overview. The story takes place on a winter's night. A man orders a bowl of soba at a street stall. How you doing, sir? What can I get for you? I see you've got seaweed-topped hanamaki soba. Oh, I didn't read it fast enough. Oops. I'll have a bowl of shipoku, my good man. It sure is cold tonight, isn't it? But there's nothing like a hot bowl of noodles soup to warm the soul. You know it, sir. One shipoku coming right up. So, how's business? Not so great, sir. Is that so? Well, that's great, because things can only get better from here, right? Wow, prosecutor. The customer talks on and on like this. Finally, when he has done eating, he goes to pay for his soba. So, how much do I owe you? That'll be 16 mon, sir. I see. Oh, I see. Sorry, I only have that. I'll count the coins in your palm, so could you hold out your hand for me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, what time is it? It's 9, sir. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Thanks, and bye. Haha! Very well done, Prosecutor Sanmari. That was excellent. A bit fast-paced, though. It's almost like you were trying to keep up with text box that are moving automatically, and you didn't have time to give them voices. Huh? I don't get it. What was so funny about that? Don't you see? The customer paid with coins, counting them out one by one. Then, just after counting 8, he asked about the time, and the soba vendor answered with 9. Oh, now I get it. He made the vendor say 9 and then continued counting from 10.
Exactly. He cheated the soba vendor out of 1 mon with his smooth talking. The story continues with another man who saw the whole thing and tries to do the same. But he bungles the trick and ends up paying more than 16 mon for his soba. The story ends on that as the punchline. You can look up the rest of your details yourself. I hadn't heard that story before. And you know, that reminds me of a Abbott and Costello bit, where, what was it? It was like 13 times 27, or I don't remember. The point is, it reminds me of a bit by a very famous comedy duo named Abbott and Costello, where they're trying to calculate the rent, and they prove it like 3 ways, the amount of rent they owe, to be incorrectly less than it's supposed to be. Very good bit. You should check it out. Or, I'm sure Prosecutor Sad Monk over there would love to perform it for you after court. So, basically, it's a story about a man cheating on his soba bill. That's kind of petty, isn't it? Is that really all you have to say about this classic story? Time soba is such a well-known staple of Rakugo that it's still... Fine. So you studied a lot. But we haven't the time for a lecture detour right now, Prosecutor Sad Monk. Aw, I wanted to hear a little more, but I suppose it is off topic. Getting back to the matter at hand, Miss Sykes, the witness stated that the story I performed is called Toki Soba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Would you like to add this statement to his testimony? Should I have him add that statement to his testimony? Yes, have it added, please. Thank you. Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to have it added. Very well. And then we present the invitation.
Objection!
Uendo, isn't there something odd about the routine you performed? Odd? No, I don't think there's anything odd about it at all. But that's exactly what I find odd. The fact that you don't think it's odd.
Objection.
Oh, right, he was horrible at it because he didn't practice. Makes sense. We are discussing the witness's alibi at the moment, defense. The show's program is completely irrelevant.
Objection!
That's where you're wrong, Prosecutor Sanmati. The reason being, it contradicts the statement the witness just made. Uendo, do you know what this is? No, what is it? This is an invitation to the show, sent from Master Tornado to Prosecutor Blackquill. Included in the invitation is a rundown of the show's program, which clearly states that Time Soba was to be performed by Master Tornado himself. No. Yes. Uendo, why did you perform the routine your master was scheduled to do? Well, you see, the reason for that is... how do I say this? You see, let's say it was a prank. That's right, it was just a little joke, you see. I was trying to surprise Shisho by performing his routine before he did. No. I don't know if I buy that. Was doing the victim's routine really just for laughs, or... Hey, didn't Simon happen to hear Time Soba coming from the dressing room? During Uendo's performance on stage? It seems like too much of a coincidence. Wait, can it be... What's the matter? You look like a hen with a dozen eggs to lay. Stop comparing me to birds. Then cease this bird-brained timidity. If something has occurred to you, then lay it out for us already. Don't breed resentment in those watching your performance. Okay. I don't have a ton of confidence in this theory, but here goes. And it looks like Uendo's alibi checks out, Your Honor, but even though he was on stage at the time, he may have been trying to obfuscate a crucial detail about this case. Are you referring to the soba bill the man tried to skimp on in the witness's story? No, I'm not talking about the Rakugo story, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry, but then what are you talking about, Miss Sykes? What Uendo may have been trying to deceive us about was... the time of the victim's death. What? Yeah,
Objection.
Oh, that was Patches. Oops. What's gibberish?
Prosecutor Blackquill even testified to the time of the victim's death. I know, but he only testified that way because he and Geiru had been completely taken in.
You mean by the Soba bill thing?
Would you please forget about the story for a second, Your Honor?
I was deceived.
Pray tell, how did Uendo manage to deceive two people while he was performing on stage? That's easy. All he had to do was use a certain prop in the dressing room.
Oh, and what might that be?
The prop Uendo used was the television.
Take that!
This TV was used to view what was happening on stage. Prosecutor Blackquill, when you came to the dressing room, what was Uendo doing?
He was performing Time Soba. Blast! Could it be?
Yes, it could, and it was. What you and Geiru heard was not Master Tornado practicing his routine. It was Uendo's performance, as heard through his TV monitor speakers.
What?
Oh, no, I thought we were going to go to the gallery. With the TV just inside the inner door of the dressing room, it could easily be heard from the hallway outside.
And because we knew that Master Tornado was scheduled to perform Time Soba, we were easily manipulated into thinking he was still alive at the time, rehearsing.
Yes, your knowledge of the day's program is why the two of you could be fooled this way. Simon, did the voice you hear belong to Master Tornado?
With the doors in the way, I couldn't tell exactly who the voice belonged to. But because I heard Time Soba, I just assumed it was Master Tornado. I can't believe I was taken in by such a simple mind gazing.
All of that is mere conjecture. Where is your proof, defense? Uendo moved the TV back when he discovered the body. After all, he couldn't very well leave it by the door, because then someone might figure out the trick he'd been playing. And there's one more thing about Uendo's actions that's suspicious.
And that is?
The fact that he flopped so badly on such an important occasion.
What's so suspicious about that? Even pros slip up once in a while, you know?
But I believe that this time it was intentional. Because Uendo knew it'd be strange to hear laughter coming from the dressing room.
Oh my.
Yipes. It's all just a bit too perfect to be sheer coincidence. Plus, if the voice Prosecutor Blackquill and Geiru heard was due to Uendo scheming, then the victim's time of death could have been earlier than 4 p.m. In other words, Uendo could have killed Master Tornado himself.
Excellent work. We've got you by the stones now, Uendo, so you'd better confess everything. Well, witness, you have something to say for yourself?
We demand an explanation. Uendo!
I confess. I tampered with the crime scene.
Oh, okay. Is he doing this out of malice? Because he's trying to get away with crime, or is he just trying to genuinely give us an answer? Is it the defense's claim that Uendo Tornado is the true murderer in this case? If he tampered with the crime scene, then we have to at least consider him a suspect. Now wait just 1 minute. Yes, I admit to messing with the dressing room, but I didn't kill Shisho. Then why did you tamper with the crime scene? I refuse to answer that question. What? If you suspect this witness, then I have a question for you. What could it be this time? Uendo had absolutely no reason to murder Taifu Tornado. After all, why would Uendo kill the man who recognized his skills and promoted him? Well, his motive was, I can't think of a single thing. It appears you are also not aware of one other fact. And that is? That the accused visited the dressing room before 4 p.m. as well. Is it not natural then to suppose that the accused killed the victim at the time? What? Nobody told me Mr. Wet had also gone there before 4 p.m.? We were only discussing the time frame after 4 p.m., so I didn't think to mention it. Now that you have made the time period before 4 p.m. relevant... Uh-oh, I don't like where this is going. So, you really do not know what your client was doing during the time frame? Huh. Well, it was all very sudden, and, why did you wait until the very last second to contact me, Simon? Don't you give me that look. And just so you know, Bucky never told me he had visited the Master before 4 p.m. either. This sort of thing is exactly why that prosecutor keeps calling us unprepared. The defense will stop squabbling this instant. Sorry, Your Honor. Prosecutor Sanmati, please continue. Thank you, Your Honor. Defense, you know of the soba-making implements in the dressing room, correct? Is he talking about the equipment for making soba noodles? You speak of the large bowl that is used to mix buckwheat flour and water, the long rolling pin, and the special knife that is used to cut the dough into noodles. Precisely. These tools all came from the accused's soba shop. You mean they didn't belong to Master Tornado? Mr. Wet had visited the dressing room to give the victim a soba-making lesson, and that visit was before 4 p.m. I'm afraid that after the accused kneaded the dough and made those noodles, he committed the act of murder. But wait, that doesn't add up. If Mr. Wet killed the victim before 4 p.m., why would he return to that room at a later time? Oh? Oh, is he awake? Oh, he's awake. Finally. Oh, he has a skateboard with an advertisement on it. That's interesting. Wet noodle, wet soba. You're kitten caboodle when it comes to noodles. Oh my. Hiya, Miss Chickadee. Hey, Simon. Is he still drunk? The reason I went back is because Master Tornado ordered uncooked noodles. Mr. Wet? Oop. Got it. Yesterday I brought noodle-making tools to the dressing room around 2 p.m. That's when Master Tornado had ordered uncooked soba noodles stocked up on. Uncooked noodles to stock up on? Yes, ma'am. Master Tornado kept a supply of soba noodles from my shop in his fridge. Oh, got it again. And he only had one serving left, so I went back to my shop to get some more. One serving of noodles in the fridge, but I thought the fridge was practically empty. Anyway, the whereabouts of the missing noodles isn't all that important right now. You ran into me and Garu when you came back to deliver the uncooked soba, correct? That's right, Simey. I made time out of my busy day to deliver the noodles. Ha! And you know what? He ignored me when I called him from the inner doorway. He just kept mumbling Rakugo lines for ages, so I got mad and went back to my soba shop. So that's why you got mad. If what he's saying is true, then there's no way he could be the murderer. I swear I'm telling the truth, Miss Chica... Oh, and there he goes again. Bailiff, quick! Get this man to the infirmary. Well, I dare say he's quite the handful. Your Honor, please accept the statements Mr. Wet made just now into evidence. I believe the accused's statements about going to the room at around 2 p.m. is true, for it falls within the victim's estimated time of death. That opens up the possibility that the crime was committed between 2 and 4 p.m. That's some critical information. Yes, Your Honor. But other than that one point, Mr. Wet's statements are dubious and without proof.
Objection!
But they are the words of the defendant himself. Simon, back me up here. He has a point. If I were to accept the prosecutor, I wouldn't accept them either. While I understand the defense's feelings on the matter,
This court is unable to accept anything other than the time the defendant made his visit.
Now what do I do? I trust you have no further objections, defense. At last, the time has come to send the soul of the victim onward to the Twilight Realm.
Silence!
What are you yammering on about, Prosecutor Sad Monk? We still have something we need to question Uendo about.
We do? Like what?
Well, don't just stand there.
But we don't have any evidence left to present.
Have you forgotten already? Isn't there still a hidden witness you have yet to question?
A hidden witness? Oh, that's right. Your Honor, there's still one more issue we hadn't finished discussing yet.
Oh, and what is this bit of unfinished business?
We haven't finished discussing this issue. It's the, Owen, yeah? We still have to discuss the possibility of a fourth personality. The one named Owen.
Are you suggesting that this fourth personality of Uendo's might be the true culprit?
Geez, not that again. I told you we don't know anything about this Owen. Look, Uendo, I know you don't have any motive to kill your master, but this Owen may have one for all we know.
Come clean now, Uendo. You've got another personality stashed away, haven't you?
Please, tell us everything you know, Owen. About Owen.
There, sorry.
And that's enough. The witness has already stated that he knows not of any Owen character.
Bravo! You tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Hey, Patches. If you claim you don't know Owen when you really do, that's tantamount to perjury. If you want to exercise your right to remain silent, however, well, that's a different story. Do not listen to the depraved prosecutor, witness. You will be tainted with his evil. Do you have any idea how dark and cold a prison cell is?
I exercise my right to remain silent.
What's this now? Changing horses in midstream, are you?
Shut up! I will remain silent, and that's it.
Patches, you fool! Stay out of this. Oh, how you quibble among yourselves. Patches is not the brightest bulb in that box you call a noggin, is he? The fact that he switched from I don't know any Owen to will remain silent is proof that he does know about Owen.
There it is again. Simon's formidable psychological manipulation tactic. I'm sure glad he's on my side today.
You dirty, despicable, depraved prosecutor. You were leading the witness. Witness, there is no need for you to submit yourself to the defense's questioning.
Your Honor, Uendo is definitely hiding something. Please allow me to question the witness about the existence of Owen.
I suppose only this witness can confirm or deny the existence of Owen for us. Very well. I will allow the defense to proceed. Polkunka.
Alright, here we go. This is probably going to be one of the final checks of the day, or of the session, or rather, not the, no, day was the right word, because this is day one of the court. I've never met any personality named Owen. Patches was just blurting out nonsense in a panic. We're always aware, so we definitely noticed if a personality like that showed up. How dare you treat me like a criminal based on mere conjecture? Wow, how am I supposed to deal with the testimony of 3 personalities?
Unless you can prove the existence of Owen here, it's all over. You'd best screw your courage to the sticking place and attack the testimony head-on.
Alright, I will. Just stop piling the pressure on me. I have to draw out some more info. Anything to drag Owen out into the open.
Well, it seems like Patches is our best bet, yeah? So just press him anytime he pops up? Which is only once, as I recall. Here it is.
But what if, for some reason, you 3 were unconscious at the time of the incident? If the 3 of you weren't alert and aware, what would happen?
What would happen? I'm not even sure what you mean.
I mean, you three share the same memories, right? But what if Owen is different? What if he has memories separate from yours? Maybe Owen emerges from when the three of you are unaware or unconscious.
Objection.
Instead of speaking as if this fourth personality is a foregone conclusion, I suggest you prove his existence first. Well, you've already seen 3 personalities, a fourth wouldn't be a stretch. You dishonor the victim in this court by jumping to such conclusions without proof. Have you ever heard these old sayings, Prosecutor Sanmari? What happens twice will happen thrice. If you see 1, there are likely 30 in your home. I'm basing my theory on such premises. Comparing us to cockroaches, do we bug you that much, girlie? But how do you intend to prove it? How will you prove that all 3 personalities became unconscious, as you say? Unless you can do that, all of this talk is merely empty speculation. Well, Don't be so timid. If you don't have it, then find it. Look for something that could render Uendo and the others unconscious. Simon's right. I can't back down now. For my client, Mr. Wet, I have to. Wait, Mr. Wet? Yes, it's the alcohol bottle on the table. Okay, yeah. Let me rest. Maybe if I were a lump of regular old flour dough for udon noodles. But I'm fresh like my soba. And you don't let soba dough rest. It's all about 3 freshes. Grind the buckwheat seed fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil bleh. Yep. I didn't read it fast enough, it's fine. He's blacked out. Mr. Wet, falling unconscious. Wait a minute, I think I got it. Miss Sykes, you have proof to back up your theory? Yes, Your Honor, I do. The proof is right here in this crime photo. It is? In that case, please point out what supports your theory. This, most likely, is what caused Miss Uendo to lose consciousness.
Take that!
Yes, the sake. And isn't it just like Master Tornado to pick a fine brand like Camel? Sake? Oh, you mean rice wine? Did we need to translate that? Oh, please, don't call it rice wine. That's so unsophisticated. And it's not even wine. Silly girl. I must agree. You need to become more cultured, Athena. Tomato. It's made of rice and people get drunk from drinking it, right? It's called sake. End of story. Fine, sake it is then. Ay caramba, everyone's so touchy about these things. I recall Master Tornado would often have a drink or 2 before performing. He said it made him more eloquent. Drinking too much of this stuff can make one lose consciousness though, of course. And look, there were 2 glasses on the table. Uendo, I believe your master had offered you some, sake. And then you must have drank too much and passed out. That's when your 4th personality, Owen, emerged. I drank sake. Oh, that's a good one. We have a real sweet tooth, you see, so yes, we did accept a sugary red bean bun. But since we really dislike sake, we said no. No thank you to that. Believe it or not, we're real weak when it comes to booze. Even a tiny drop can knock us right out. Well, the bun had alcohol in it. The packaging is the same, yeah? So, you see, I had a sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake. What? But that can't be right. The defense demands that the glasses be examined right away. You amateur, do you really think I had not already done so? Your foolishness is beyond the pale. Don't tell me. There was no trace of the witness having touched either of the glasses, naturally. Right, of course. Miss Sykes, would you like the witness's statement added to his testimony? Yes, please, Your Honor. Very well. And, what do we present on this? Do we present the note, perhaps? Or do we present the image? Because I'm thinking the image, yeah?
Objection!
Oh, no, that's not it. It's probably the note, then. Because the note has the pattern on it. I really thought it would be the image. Huh. Oh, well.
Objection!
There we go. This shows most likely what made Uendo lose consciousness. That note. Are you feeling lightheaded, child? Or perhaps a bit peckish? I'm not hungry, and my head feels just fine, thank you very much. Look at the paper this note is written on. Isn't there something familiar about it? What exactly is your point of defense? This faint design here. Oh, man, voice crack, hold on. This faint design here reminds me of the paper from... Ah, yes. Yep. It's a piece of wrapping paper on the box of manju buns by the victim on the floor. Uendo, you may not have drunk any sake, but you did eat a sweet red bean bun, right? Well, yes, that's right. I don't know if you are aware of it or not, Uendo, but I believe the manju you ate caused you to fall unconscious. The bean bun? But how? Because those buns contained a secret ingredient. A very punchy secret ingredient at that. A punchy secret ingredient? Yes. The design of the wrapping paper matches that of something else in the room. It does? Yep, it's the bottle. They really should have that box labeled. The camel pattern. It's the same as the one for the camel brand sake. Oh man, my throat's really starting to go. So, just as Uendo said, he didn't drink any sake per se. But he did eat some. Impossible. Uendo had a camel brand red bean bun, which boasts a nice shot of sake as one of its ingredients. So, the defense is claiming that Uendo passed out after consuming a camel sweet bun, which allowed a fourth personality named Owen to emerge. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor. That's exactly what I'm claiming. But there's one thing that bothers me. Wouldn't the alcoholic content of the buns evaporate as they are steamed? In order to give them a stronger flavor, some manju are specially made to retain as much of their alcoholic content as possible. What kind of lightweight do you think I am? Even I wouldn't pass out from eating a simple manju. Then how about we test that theory? What do you say, Your Honor? Seeing is believing, as they say. Very well, I will allow a test. Thanks, Your Honor. Simon, go buy some camel manju on the double. And don't forget to get me one too, okay? But why must I? And while you're at it, Prosecutor Blackquill, you will get one for me as well. I'm not the courthouse stable boy, you know. Oh, I was wondering where Taka would be. But just this once, I'll acquiesce. Taka, I'm counting on you. And all of you had better pay me back. Aw, but I thought it would be your treat, Prosecutor Blackquill. What a shame. Now then, let us adjourn until the manju arrive by carrier hawk. That's fine. It's a business expense. Court will reconvene as soon as Taka returns. Oh. Oh, no to be... Oh, there's the to be continued. Oh, we've made it to the end. Now, I think in my schedule, which I set up, I said I was going to go for like an hour extra after this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to revise that because my throat... It took me a long time to get into the voices, and it's already starting to fall apart. So we're gonna have to revise the schedule for this week a bit. But we do have that schedule now, and we're going to be keeping to it. So, with that being said, that is the end. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been Seeker the Scuffed, and I am signing off.